All right, everybody, we are here with another episode of Barbie Does Dating. Barbie Berg is actually here. I travel a lot, so there you go. We have guests with us, but first, Miss Kristin Sokol.
Hello.
We are so excited.
Welcome to January 2026.
I can't believe it. And you said January is already starting with a bang.
Yeah, it is. People want to fall in love in the new year.
I love it.
I am ready, willing, and able to make that happen.
She is the queen at it. So we also have super fan and my roommate, Jill Serafina. Boo, boo, boo! Pew, pew, pew.
Happy to be here.
Yes, we love having you here. Steve is on a boat in Chile, I believe. He is down at the southernmost part of the continent before you get to the Antarctic.
Is he going to see penguins?
I think he will, but honestly, I don't know. Because they're not going to Antarctica. They're just...
But they should.
There's
have
penguins in
penguins.
Chile.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We are
very
awaiting
exciting.
that Marco Polo.
I know. We're like, so far he's just sending us Marco Polos of like little things. And we're like, that's great. Where are the penguins? So,
Priorities.
I know. Steve has been home for a total of 12 hours in the
was
past
less than,
3
yeah.
weeks. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we love and miss you, Steve. Okay, we have a guest.
Special guest.
A special guest,
So excited.
Miss Tiana Chambers.
Yay!
So let me tell you about this. So Jill, my darling, wonderful friend, was telling me that there is this dating, I'm going to call it a challenge, even though I don't know that that's what it is. And it's called the 4-week fix. And I love the idea of it because it's so original. It is going to help get people out of their heads. And so Jill is going to do it. Did you finish the application yet?
No, I got like 30% of the way. It's intense.
It's thorough.
Yeah,
It is.
I'm going to take care of you. Is what that says.
No, it's fair. My thing is that like the questions are great and there's nuance though to my stances and my answers, but putting them on paper just makes them feel finite. And so that I'm like, it doesn't feel like a true situation.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like
So
we
what
get
i-
the need
what
for
is
it.
this?
Yeah, so
What
explain
is
it to
this?
us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, first of all, introduce yourself.
Yes, talk to us about you.
What do you do, and what sparked your motivation to create this?
Oh, okay. I'm Tiana. I own Shift Events and Shift Dating. And Shift Events is an events business, mostly single events, but we'll be branching out a little more this year. And then Shift Dating is this idea, concept, initiative I came up with to shift dating in LDS culture. Because I feel like there are a lot of things that are within our individual control and a whole lot of things that are out of our individual control that are making dating really hard. And we all get together and we talk about how irritated we are with the way things are working. And then nothing happens because no one's taking the lead on changing things. So I decided, let's create a space where we all talk together. So I created this little Instagram channel where we have conversations and everyone kind of chimes in with their perspective, and it's been great. And under that, I started the 4-week fix. So the 4-week fix is just a one-time project, for now at least, where people will apply and then we'll have a team of matchmakers match people up and they'll date for 1 month. So they have to see each other 2 to 3 times a week. At least one of those needs to be a planned and paid for date.
Okay.
And you need to make contact and have some conversation every single day. So not like, hi, I checked the box.
Yeah.
But a little like, how's your day going? Or continue a conversation you had the last time you saw each other. Something that's actually connecting. We'll also have them ask each other 9 discussion questions each week from the 36 questions to fall in love.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then answer some journaling questions every week, just once a week. So not too bad.
Okay, so this is one of the reasons that I love the idea of it, is because as a seasoned dater, I really don't have I date a ton, and I do not have a ton of dating experience, if that makes it sense. I do not have a ton of dating experience after the second date. I really don't. And I try, but sometimes it's me ending it, sometimes it's them ending it. But honestly, the majority of people I know, LDS, not religious, whatever, we all get in our heads so fast. And if we even want to go on a first date, and then after a first date, it's like, well, do I even want to do this? And so the fact that it's like, you have to just be okay with it and be like, I'm going to be in a relationship with this person for a month. It's a month. What's the worst that is going to happen? And one of my friends was like, well, I'm just worried they're going to put me with a creeper. And I'm like, first off, they're being extremely thorough.
Trust me.
Yes. But my other thing was, I was like, okay, so they put you with a creeper by some accident. You go to them and say, hey, I'm with a creeper. And that person will never contact you again.
Yes.
That, like, I'm like, you are, some people that I've talked to, I'm like, you're creating problems that literally are not even there.
Yeah.
And it's like, I see why you're not dating, because you're like, I've already broken up with this person that I haven't met. And it's like, okay. So the idea of like, you're going to be in a relationship with this person for 4 weeks. You need to do these things. And then I was reading something that you said, and of course, did I write it down? No. It was on one of your main pages, but it was basically not just about how to be in a relationship, like teaching yourself how you can be in a relationship.
Yes.
Because it's not just all about the other person. Like, especially those of us who don't have a lot of dating experience, we don't know what the crap we're doing. This is great practice. And it doesn't, nobody's like, from what I've seen, I promise I'll stop babbling in a second. From what I've seen, you guys aren't like, we are going to find you your soulmate. That's not even the point of this project. It's to get you out of your comfort zone, to get you learning how to get to know other people. I think it's brilliant. So I was like texting Kristin, I'm like, I love this idea. And she's like, let's see if she'll come on. Okay.
Well, I've had a good number of people reach out to me and say, do you know anything about this?
Oh,
do you know
great.
who's running this?
That's great.
And so that's what sparked my interest. And you might have been the first.
Probably.
But there were several more after. And I was like, I don't know what this is. I'm excited about it. I'd like to know more about who's doing it and what the motivations are, what the intentions are, what their expectations are, and things like that. So I'm just delighted that we were able to track you down. So I Google searched your image. That's how I found you.
Great.
Yeah. So
I love
anyway, and then I found we had a couple of mutual friends.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this looks like a hike. And everything that you've put out, you seem very well organized. And it seems like there's a lot of planning and thought that's gone into this.
We've been very impressed with it.
Thank you. Yeah, it is not haphazardly put together. This
No,
has
it doesn't seem
been
that at all.
brainstormed for years
Love
and
it.
actively worked on for months. And that's what I need people to understand. People are like, have you thought of this? Yes. Have you thought of this? Yes.
Yes.
Have you thought of it? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I'm a professional.
So tell-
Please trust me.
Tell me a
This
little
isn't
bit
hobby.
about your background in shift events and also shift dating. How long has this been around? What drew you to that? Is that what you do for your full-time gig?
Yeah, so officially Shift Events has been around for just a couple of months, but I've been doing singles events and other events for years and years, probably a decade now. And they've been very successful at actually getting people dates and in relationships. Jill's been to some, so she knows.
So what kinds of events is typical for your event?
Yeah, my most popular are these bring someone else's date nights. So
Love that.
everybody brings a platonic +1 of the opposite gender. You know that everyone who's there is there to get dates, right? We all know why we're here. We're not hiding it. And that's what people say is so refreshing about it. They're like, we're not trying to turn this into make a bunch of friends. I know if someone asks for my number, they probably want to go out on a date, right?
Yeah.
I've also done some weirder events, like a pheromone party.
That's right.
Were you there?
No, Jill told me about it. Yes. Tell Kristin
what's
about
a
it.
pheromone party?
It was so weird. I kind of need to stop leading with this.
I love it. I
I
love
think
how
it's
weird
genius.
it is.
No, I love
But
it.
for like 3 years, I was introduced to people and they'd go, oh, smelly t-shirt girl. This is not what I want my personal brand to be.
Tell Kristin all about it.
Okay, so the pheromone party was this event where we had 100 people to sign up for this weird event, and they all bought the exact same size and color of t-shirt. We gave them a link to buy the specific shirt, and then they slept in it for 2 weeks, and they showed up and
Wow.
showed up. And we anonymized their shirts, put them in little bags, and we put all the women's shirts in one room and all the men's shirts in another room. We had this guy build an app, so you would go around and you would smell the shirt and decide if you really liked the smell or you absolutely hated the smell. And it was fascinating because you would see someone pick up a bag and be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to meet this guy. And then you would watch another girl pick up the same bag 5 seconds later and start dry heaving.
Yep.
It was wild.
Wow.
Pheromones are real. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So That one was a smash hit. We had 100 people sign up. We had 98 people show up. So people followed through, and there was no fee. So
well, I mean, they're invested if they've worn the same the shirt to bed for 2 weeks. That's like an actionable investment.
Yeah. And we said you could only come if you participated. And if you make things just weird enough,
totally.
people will come.
Yes.
Let's use the word quirky.
Just quirky enough.
Yeah,
There you go.
whimsical.
It's science. I mean,
That's what I kept telling people. You're here for your love of science.
So what were the results from said party?
Okay, the interesting thing is that there weren't a ton of people who went on dates with their matches from the smell contest. Because what we did is if you gave each other a 4 or a 5 out of 5 on your smell, we let you know that you matched. And
Based
if
on
you
smell.
each did it for each
and
other.
we sent an email that was like, here's each person's phone number, age, height. So you could eliminate if they were totally out of your category because there was a 30-year age range there. And then they were supposed to contact each other and go on dates. Some people did. What was interesting is that very few people met that way. A lot of people went on dates from just the mingling at the event. Because it was like, so you like science?
Yeah.
Just like an easy conversation starter.
So you just dropped this we built an app. Like who's doing your tech? Like how do we just do this?
So casually. Yes.
This was just a willing friend. And I mean, it was kind of a website, kind of an app, but functioned as a website where you scan the QR code and you'd go in there. And we didn't make it pretty. It wasn't super cute. Maybe at some point we'll work together to make this a marketable, everyone can host their own pheromone party. We've got it set up for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a really kind friend who was excited about the idea and willing to help out.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, give us another idea of like types of events that you've done that are a little more mainstream or like what you would want to lead with.
Yeah. The Bring Someone Else's Date Nights are definitely my bread and butter. I also love hosting smaller little dinner groups and maybe not professionally, but getting like a guy friend and saying, hey, why don't you grab 4 guys that you would recommend and I'll grab 4 great girls and let's just get a dinner together and people can become friends or they can date or whatever. But let's give people a chance to actually talk and just get 8 people in a room. I love my big events. I work very hard to make sure there are moments where you can interact one-on-one within the big events. But I also love a small little group setting. I think that is the better option.
Do you know, I have a lot of colleagues that are matchmakers like in other states, right? I have a lot of East Coast matchmaker gals, and one of the best and most well-attended type of events they do is when there is a secret VIP. So the secret VIP is kind of bankrolling this, and it has been curated for that person, right? So they have brought in the types of people who he or she would like to meet, but it's never disclosed who is funny. So, but it's curated. So we have people that are all in that kind of demographic. So similar aged men, similar aged women that are in some like this demographic. And then if you have somebody, and I mean, matchmaking is a very like expensive service. So they tend to have money. So to spend 15 grand or something on an event where we have a really nice dinner party or, some sort of event where we can mix and mingle is like not that much skin off their shoulder. But I think that could be really fun if we have like a secret VIP and we curate it for that.
I volunteer as tribute. I mean,
yes,
let's just bring in.
So tell us more about, first, where do they go to sign up for this if they would like to sign up for the 4-week?
Yeah.
And what all does it entail? What's the process, the onboarding process like?
Yeah, so if you want to sign up, you'll go to, it's kind of a long URL, you go to 4weekfix, all spelled out, FOUR, .lovable.app. And then you'll sign up. It's $45 to sign up as long as you sign up with a friend of the opposite gender to help us keep the numbers even.
Yes.
Or you can sign up solo for a little bit more.
Okay.
And then you'll fill out an application. The application takes an hour to an hour and a half to fill out for most people. Some people who would like to describe their nuance a lot are finding that it takes a little bit longer.
I had a former client of mine who is a he's attending. He's in the fix.
Yes.
Okay. He reported that it took him 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
To
Okay,
fill out.
I said 2 to 3 hours in my
I think I spent an
instructions,
hour and
so-
got 30% through it. So that tracks to
Yeah.
be 3 hours
About
for the
3
full.
The
hours.
middle is faster. So
Oh,
you'll
okay, great.
cruise for the middle 30%.
Oh, that's encouraging. Okay, because I haven't opened it back up.
What about the tech for this? Who did the tech and what is it based on? And
I did.
where did you where did you get there? Where did you come up with these questions? Yeah, what like inspired you or guided you through this application creating process?
Yeah, there was a lot of research that went into this, both kind of formal and informal. So reading books by matchmaking experts who obviously were talking more to an audience of daters than matchmakers, but paying attention to like, what are they saying are key things people need to match on. Googling like crazy and saying like, what is the most compatible? What are the most important compatibilities? And then we are working with this is fun. Someone pointed this friend of mine over to me and we didn't know what each other were doing. And she and I connected. She's doing an AI tool. And normally I'm very anti-AI, but this AI tool is supposed to detect whether or not your nervous systems would be compatible. So if somebody will help you calm down and be yourself rather than stressing you out. So that's new. We'll see if it works. It's not going to be the only thing we base compatibility off of, but we've covered pretty much every major area of compatibility, including, because this is for an LDS population specifically, some questions about religiosity, because that is one of the number one things that people said is hard to find, right? Politics and religion, not just are you LDS or not, because there's a wide range of what people believe or what people's commitment
they
level
practice.
is. Yeah, exactly.
I was appreciative of the sliding scale options on a lot of them because you're like, not all the way, but just right here, that feels good.
Yeah. And in each section, there's going to be a little spot where it's like, if you have more to tell us, here you go. Because I want to leave room for nuance, but I also need to be reasonable and create some checkboxes.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it needs to be measurable.
Yeah.
So I have a college-age daughter, and she moved out for the first time last year, year before last, and the apartment that she moved into, the complex has like a dating app sort of application.
Oh.
In the
where-
complex?
Is this at BYU?
No, it's not. It's at UVU.
Oh, okay.
And so you answer these questions, like what your lifestyle is like and what your values are and what your habits are. And then you can attach your Instagram to it. And then you have access to everybody else's too. So when they go live, you can swipe through it like a dating profile and find out what time do they go to bed? What time? What isn't it?
Fascinating.
And so she matched herself with a bedroom roommate that she didn't know, but matched through this app. And then filled all the other bedrooms, like they compiled their own apartment with 6 strangers. And it worked out so well.
Interesting.
Yes, and they did it. So she's in her second year now. They took 3 left, and they got 3 new roommates, and it's going so well.
That is genius.
That's brilliant.
Doesn't that save like so much headache for the
Yes.
for the apartment managers, like dealing with personality conflicts? And I feel I bring that up because I feel like that's like a lot of what you're trying to do is like figure out their lifestyle and their vibe and all the important things, and then bring people together based on that. And I'm here to tell you, there is some evidence that works.
Right, yeah.
If we're asking the right questions. So do you have a cap of how many participants you feel like you can
No,
take?
we're trying to get as many as possible.
What's your expectation based on enrollment? When is the enrollment deadline?
Yeah, the enrollment deadline is January 24th. There's a discount if you register before the 17th of January. Right now, I would be very surprised if we do not hit 200.
Wow,
Very
that's
cadence.
great.
I'm so excited.
very
Oh, I'm
excited.
so excited.
I would love to get closer to 500.
Yeah.
So the way the word has been getting out is primarily word of mouth. It's not the
it's
Instagram
very
being shared.
buzzy.
I've been telling all of my friends.
Yeah.
It's very
Yes,
buzzy.
keep telling them.
Yes.
So it's a little hard to measure because I'm not seeing, people aren't necessarily following the Instagram page or things like that. But I will say 70% of the applications have been people I don't know, which is wild.
Yeah.
So
That's-
word is spreading. Again, minimum of 200. I'm expecting it will probably be closer to 400 or
love this.
500.
Great.
What age ranges are you seeing?
So the application's open to 25 to 45. I'm not going to pair up a 25-year-old with a 45-year-old.
Correct.
That has been a panic question from a few people.
Yeah.
Again, trust me to have some like basic common sense here,
Yes.
please. And we also let you list an age range. So we've got
I know
some
people
securities
get so panicky about this stuff. I'm like, you guys act like we're going to be like, well, I'm going to put you with somebody 25 years older than you. He did just get out of jail, but he seems super nice. Like, I don't know why this is the mindset they automatic, but everybody does it.
Or like the threat of the existence of people who are not dateable to them. Where I
Yes.
have people saying, well, are those weird guys from my Hinge going to be applying? And I say, probably.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to pair you with them, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
And
matter.
there is truly something to learn from everyone. And I just
Yes.
love there's an automatic out, 28 days, we're done. So like, I don't know. I'm
And the
very
hope
excited.
is that people will keep dating after that 28 days. We'll see. I'm sure some will, some won't, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know you're in for 28 days minimum, so you might as well just try and make
Just
it a good
try it.
experience.
Yeah.
I feel we get stuck in that 1 date, 2 date loop because we're just I think you would put it in your Q&A, like people almost look for their way out. They're looking for the excuses.
Yes.
They're looking for the ick almost. But when you know you're committed for 28 days, you're going to be more curious about what is good about them. What can I learn from them? What can I learn about myself? And like you're just it shifts the whole mindset knowing you're in it for 28 days.
Yes, exactly. I think part of the inspiration for this was arranged marriages. And I love the TV show Married at First Sight,
Me
especially
too.
the early seasons before they started trying to create drama.
Yes.
Have you watched Australia's one yet?
No.
I'll send you the link. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, I need that.
It's amazing.
Okay. But I love watching them work
let's
through
just
it.
hold space for Doug and Jamie.
Oh, I love them
Oh.
so much. I just talked about them on the Instagram in the Q&A.
They are the
Where I said-
best.
For those who are unfamiliar, this was season 1, and I wish I could make it required watching before people do this experiment.
100%.
You're right.
Yes.
Everybody should see.
It could be
so
like homework,
good.
like, hey, I've received your application. Like, go
Yes.
watch this.
Go read How to
Like-
Not Die Alone and go watch season 1 of
Okay.
Married at
Love
First
that.
Sight,
That's
everyone.
great advice.
Doug and Jamie's like the whole journey. Watch the whole thing unfold and know that like attraction and connection is not like a I can or I can't. It's like a dimmer switch,
Yes.
right? Where it might be real cool at the beginning, but as we invest over, in this case 28 days, how warm could we get it?
Yes.
Right? Even if this isn't a love connection for me and I know it's not, there's still so much value to be gained.
Yes.
So, okay, what was the question? I'm sorry. I feel like
Exactly.
I interrupted because I said let's
No,
hold
I don't
space.
think
Where were
so.
we? The inspiration you were saying, the inspiration for this.
Yeah, arranged marriages, and they tend to have pretty high happiness rates, right?
They do.
And I think that comes from I'm in it, and I'm going to make it as great as I can, and not, it's getting into effort mode and out of evaluation mode, because we are
Yes.
so stuck in that zone.
Can I speak to this?
Yeah.
So, have you seen Indian matchmaking?
Yes,
Love that.
I was watching it yesterday.
It's so good.
How many of their matches have stayed together and gotten married?
I actually don't know.
I don't know. I think a good chunk. Am I wrong?
No, on the show,
On the
it's
show,
very
you're
low.
right. It's pretty low.
They don't. And here's why. Matchmaking, arranged marriages, 100% happiest couples. They stay together long term. But I feel like the Indian matchmaking, and I got to be careful because I may be seeing her.
Oh yeah.
At the conference. I don't want to trash anybody's process.
Right.
But the thing that we're trying to have it both ways on that Indian matchmaking because everybody's still allowed to have their opinions and their adjudication period and decide if they do or don't want this. But that's not what an arrangement is. Right? An arrangement is people that know you think you would be good together.
Yep.
And so this is happening.
Yeah.
And you chose to do that. That's where your choice ends.
Yeah.
Right? And so users that are going to participate in your program should know that if you're going to do this, you have chosen to do it.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens. And some of our dearest friends are an arranged marriage. They're Indian, and they're part of an arranged marriage, and it was not warm. Like when it first started, it didn't make sense to them. But now, many years in, it's a wonderful dynamic, right? And it didn't take, not like it's, I'm not trying to make it seem like it took them years to like get along.
Right.
But immediately there is a period of investment and getting to know each other. But the choice is made.
Yeah.
Right? It's happening.
It's not, yeah, I think where Indian matchmaker and similar situations can get a little messy is people see it as an order form. And there's a risk in that with this experiment too, where it's like, okay, we have a very thorough application. That does not mean that everything you clicked in that application is going to be the same in this other person. In fact, you don't want that. That's a boring relationship. But we think of dating in general as this order form, and we are so used to just swiping to the next person, hoping we'll get what we want. If we could just find the hottest one, I'm sure they'll like us back.
Exactly.
I'm sure.
Yep.
And they'll be perfect and have the income level we want and the lifestyle we want and the
But that's what
hobbies.
everybody's getting stuck with in online dating is they do this and they fall in love with this profile. Men and women do this.
Yeah.
They fall in love with this profile. They create a personality and a future with this profile, and that is it. Instead of just being like, okay, let's just see what's out there. And I honestly think that's the biggest downfall for everyone right now with online dating. Keep going. I interrupted you. Sorry, sweetie.
No, you're great. I think we just need to lead in dating with a lot more curiosity and a lot less decision making early on. And that's part of what this is trying to do is if they don't get paired up with someone that they want to keep dating, at least they get pulled out of that swipe mentality of like, I'll just keep looking. And it's like, well, what did you learn? And the journaling questions aren't going to be, how are you feeling? Do you like him?
Yeah.
It's going to be, hey, what did you notice that you did like? And what did you do to make this a good relationship? What did you do to show up as a supportive partner this week? What did they do to show up for you? Let's try noticing the good things and noticing where it is working rather than just scanning for the bad, which I think is a lot of us who are still stuck in the dating pool because we have a tendency to be on guard where we're like, if I can just spot the problems ahead of time, then I won't waste my time and I, can avoid a lot of heartbreak, so I'll just cut them out early.
So I noticed in your application or in your marketing materials, you're not guaranteeing that you're going to get a match. You sign up, you pay the money, you fill out the application. You may not be matched.
Yeah.
Right? But what percentage of your participants are you hoping to find a match for?
Yeah, I think it will be a higher percentage the more applications we get. Because if you have 10 people and you're trying to find a match within those 10 people,
right,
odds are a little low.
Let's say you get like 400.
Yeah, but if we get about...
What do you think, percentage-wise, do you think you... I mean, I know you've never done this before, so you don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
But what's your kind of hope?
I'm hoping we can get about 75% of people matches.
Oh, you think you're... Okay, so you think it's going to be a high number.
And that might be way too optimistic. There is also a point in the application near the end where you can say, I don't remember how I phrased this question, but it's something like, how badly do you want to participate in this experience? And you can say either, I only want to participate if you have a great match for me who's super aligned, or I just want some dating experience. Yeah. Like, I just want to try. Can you just give me a chance to try? And we're seeing people move that little slider in both directions. So if someone's just wanting experience, there's a higher likelihood I can find a compatible person for you, right? Yes. Compatible enough for this experiment.
Right.
Whereas if you only want a great match, and if everyone was sliding the scale that far, I'd have lower numbers I'm expecting.
Yeah. So how open, from the data you've seen so far, how open-minded are most people with this?
It is all over the map. So there are people who are sliding it all the way to the right, and there are people sliding it all the way to the left, and most people are somewhere in the middle. And they're like, if it's a good enough match that you think I can have a fun month, I'm in. Yeah. Yeah.
What is your matchmaking process going to look like?
That is a little bit TBD. Basically, we'll sort by some big filters, right? So things like age and some key areas like politics, religiosity. Sections like that have questions that are not just where are you, but how much do you care about alignment with someone else, or how invested are you in this? So maybe someone is far right in politics, but they don't actually pay attention to politics or care about them. that's different than
Yep.
someone who's highly engaged in politics. Then it suddenly matters a lot more if they're aligned with
Absolutely.
their partner. So it's going to be a little bit tricky, but we'll try to get people into some groups, and then we'll probably go next with the nervous system compatibility and see what we can find there and who's compatible nervous system wise, and then see, okay, what about lifestyle, hobbies, things like that.
I also appreciated the section of like who for sure do you not want to be paired up with, and you can list all of your exes. Like,
Oh, that's smart.
I know it really is
Because you're probably somewhat compatible.
Yes.
With them.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Absolutely.
I thought that was a smart addition.
How big is your team of people you have involved in especially in the okay, let's make some matches, like that kind of think tank?
Yeah, I think the matchmaking team, we have a few people who are maybes. They're looking at their schedule trying to sort it out, but I think it's going to be about 10 people.
Great.
And then as far as the team for conducting this experiment, there have been a lot of people who've played an advisory role. I have been the main coordinator of it, though.
This is your baby.
It's my baby. Yeah.
Who are the thought leaders that you're looking to that's helped inform your process or your application?
Yeah, a lot of people who are connected community builders and who are kind of event planners, whether that be professionally or more so just people who are good at gathering humans, as well as just wise friends of mine who I trust, people who have a lot of dating experience, people who I've talked to some married friends and said, hey, what would you say is really important here? And then I've also talked to people who have done similar experiences in the past, who participated in them and said, what was great, what wasn't great, what would you ideally like to see done differently, and adjust it accordingly. So there was a similar experiment done 7 or 8 years ago in Salt Lake, and it was great, but it was very high demand. It also was entirely public, and they only picked 3 couples, I think. And a lot of that made it harder for people to be excited about each other because there was a lot of resentment over this is taking over literally my entire life immediately. And so it's hard to want to be around you.
Right. This is not going to be publicized. You're not going to be a figure. You're just going to have an experience with this one person, maybe.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? And
correct.
hopefully.
Yeah.
What about like as far as like research? Like whose research are you looking at for compatibility? Like what's informed you there?
Yeah, I wish I could give you some specific sources, and I'm like, I have just conglomerated all of this into a nice giant document of copy paste.
Yeah, so things that you found. Yeah.
Yeah, so I read Matchmaker Maria's book on matchmaking.
I know Maria, yes.
Yeah, that one was very helpful. And then a lot of just Google searching. I'm trying to remember, there are like 5 core compatibility areas.
Is that, I think you're referencing Terry Orbach's work.
Probably.
So Terry Orbach is a university professor in Michigan, and she's been running a study
Oh, I love her.
since, as part of her postdoctoral work in the late 80s. She started following 373 couples who all got married in 1986 and has now followed them for the entire duration of their lives since then. So the research is going on 35 years.
That's amazing.
And 52% of those couples are still married to each other. 48% are divorced. Most of that 48% is repartnered. And there's so much good insight that comes from that study. One of the things that has come from that study is that there are 5 and now 6 areas of compatibility, or like universal values that we all have in common. But we prioritize those 5, 6 things in our own unique ways.
Right.
And what we see in couples who stay together over the long term is that they prioritize the same top 2 as each other. The rest can be totally different. But as long as number 1 and number 2 are aligned, that's the 52% that has stayed together. right? So that, that informs how you date a lot, and I bet that's the research that you've come across.
I'm sure it is. I have pulled together so many questions from so many different, this is what really matters, this is what doesn't matter, but people think it matters. So for them to like each other initially,
right,
they need this.
Right.
But things like neuroticism level.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. How intensely clean does your space need to be, really? Like, how much does that matter to you? So we have some kind of niche questions that people are probably like, why does this matter for a 1-month experiment? But we would love to get the best possible match. So it's like, well, we might as well ask some bonus questions. So if you have 5 possibilities, you get the best one out of those 5.
Yeah.
So a couple questions here. Are you doing live interviews?
Yes, some.
So before you put these 2 people together, will you interview them and say, we think this will work, but we better see their cadence? Or are there video components of the interview thing that they record themselves? Or is this all just written?
So the phase 1 is all written, and then what we're gonna see how this shakes out. The plan now is the matchmakers I've selected are people who are connected with people in the community. And so if you know one of the matchmakers, you kind of get to bypass the interview process and just have them vouch for you and say, I know that person, I know their vibe,
got it.
yada, yada, yada. Just because it would be so much time to interview everyone. And we may still interview some of those people if we just have additional questions. But other than that, yes, we'll interview most people and just do even a 10-minute little vibe check,
Zoom.
clarify some questions from the application midway through the matchmaking process. So we may already have an idea of like, okay, it looks like they're compatible with these 10 people maybe, but let's video chat and see what actually makes sense here.
If you decide to do this again, I should introduce you to some tech guys that I met at the last Matchmaker conference in New York. They've got software where you're basically going through this whole process, but it's all video.
Oh, okay,
and then you can like have it compare for you and have it like, put in the criteria of how you want to match, and that might be a really useful tool for you.
Yeah, that would be great because
consider.
it's very labor intensive right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you have a day job? Like, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. If you have this is a full-time plus.
It has been very,
job.
Very full-time.
I'll just bet it has. I'll bet it has.
Yeah.
So you are planning to do live interviews when there's a question mark about who this person is, unless we know them. What about live events? Is there going to be like a whole congregation come together and we do like a welcome, like this is what to expect, like, and maybe a mingle? I don't know.
Here's why we're not doing that. I thought about doing that, and I don't want to pull a Love is Blind where people are looking around and they're like, oh, I don't like the one I got. I want that one over there. I'm going to go mingle over there.
I absolutely
I don't want
agree.
them looking sideways.
Yep.
So we will do some events, and I'm trying to decide if these will be in person or entirely virtual, but some little workshops, kind of coaching, and also just like come together and talk about the experience. And there will be some guidelines so we don't turn into a complain fest or anything like that, but that are just for the women and just for the men. And they're going to be separated because, again, I do not need people looking sideways, but I want a big, giant group of people participating in this, so I want them to find some community, and we're all in this shared experience together. Let's talk about it and what we're doing to make it a good one.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You really have a good sense of direction on this.
Thank you.
I've been working in this space for more than 20 years, and I have a lot of people who come to me with these grand ideas, and I think, that's a good idea, but like
Executing it.
execute it, you're missing some big things, and I don't feel like you have giant holes. It will be really interesting to see what happens. I feel very optimistic about what people could learn. We'll just have to see how taxing it is for you.
We'll see if you survive February, really.
That's the biggest question at this point. My dating life is on hold until March.
Right? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I might have someone I want to fix you up with, so let's talk.
We love
after.
this.
Send it my
Yes.
way. Yeah.
Get your own medicine.
But I'm really happy that somebody is doing something
Yes.
in this community.
Yeah.
That
And it's
is
something new.
different, and it's new. Yeah, I
different.
really feel like there's a lot of freshness.
Thank you.
And that has been so many of the messages I've been getting, both on the Shift Dating account where we're just having conversation and people are like, oh my gosh, I had no idea women thought this way or men thought this way, or, you know, this changed my perspective. And thanks for just creating the conversation. But also with this experiment, I've been getting so many messages. And I was prepared for a lot of criticism, and that's, for the most part, not been what I've gotten. What I have gotten is people saying, you know, I have just been praying for anything that's not app dating.
Yep.
And some different experience to make me stop hating this swipe dating culture. It is so draining.
Yes.
I'm in the slog, and I just want a way out. But I also, like, I don't want to quit.
Yeah.
I want to keep dating. I want to keep trying. And I think this is just, it's something different.
Yes.
I think we've all joked at some point, like, will someone just do an arranged marriage for me? Like,
real.
Every single one of my single friends
Absolutely.
in our early 40s, late 30s, like, we're so tired of just going on a first date again. Again.
You know, the other thought that I had, sorry to interrupt you, Kristin, was, you know, people like want to come up with reasons not to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no one's forcing you to do this. Like, that's the other thing is I'm like, calm down. No one has a gun to your head.
Yeah.
But I'm like, also remember that you're going to get to know this person really well. And even if it doesn't work out with them, the chances of them knowing someone that they think you would enjoy getting to know is so high that, like, why wouldn't you do it even just to meet friends? Like, I know that I have these people that you would love to spend time with. And who knows, maybe somebody's over there, but sorry. I'm working at the same time.
And now she's on her cell phone.
And it's busy season, and I'm like, dresses, and I'm back.
Nobody could tell.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I would like to chime in. The second you announced it, I think it was literally like as you were announcing it, my whole body just like lit up. Like, yes, this is like, I feel so good about it because I feel I may not be like super attractive to the male gaze, but when you get to know me, I'm freaking delightful. Like,
and that's so many of us, right?
like, yeah, and also on a first date, I am not myself. I have social anxiety. I'm also a big energy reader. So half the time I'm just like reading you and observing you. So I'm not my energetic, high, bubbly, lit up self. So I do not present my best self on dates, and I know that, and I'm aware of that. And so I love the idea of a guy being stuck with me for 4 weeks to like truly get to know me and like actually get to know me. And that's enough time for me to like open up out of my shell and show my true self. Because I know I can be delightful, and I also know I'm not delightful on first dates. Like, I know this. So
And that's
it's like,
so many people.
yes.
Yeah. And there's a big difference between being good at attracting people and then being good on first, second, third dates, and then being good in a relationship. And a lot of the people who are the best at being a good partner are not great at those beginning stages. And those are good skills to develop, but also sometimes you just never get to try the next stage because you're trapped in that cycle.
Yeah.
And I just can't let this slip, Jill. Stop it.
Yeah, we do need to come back and interact.
Let's talk about, I know I'm not attractive to the male gaze. Here's the truth. And this is not a Jill issue. This is a across the board, you know, women who are 30 or 40 and are dating who have come to this conclusion that they're not attractive to the male gaze. There is such a spectrum of what is attractive and who is attracted to it. You don't have to be attracting 90% of the male population in order to be attractive to the right segment. So that's what I really want Jill to hear that, and everybody else to know that you don't have to attract every guy to be attractive.
Yeah.
You have to do the best you can with what you have and walk forward, you know, knowing that you're not for everybody. Of course you're not. And everybody isn't for you either. And that doesn't mean that there isn't an attractive person that you could be attracted to. Yeah?
How do you comfort women in Utah who are dealing with this, because I have lived outside of Utah, and I feel like outside of Utah,
Yes,
there
agreed.
were different types of people attracted to different types of people. And there was just this total range going on in all directions, it seemed like. And maybe some people who it's like, yeah, they're objectively more attractive and have a higher percentage of the population going for them. But it just felt a lot more fluid. And I feel like most women, at least, have the experience in Utah of, oh, there is a specific size, shape, color that the majority of men find attractive here, and it's very painful to keep trying if I don't fit that mold. And yeah, how do you, as a dating coach, help people work through that when the evidence feels like it's so big?
When the receipt pile is large.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I do is I tell them I have clients all over the map, every age, every size, every demographic, who have found love. So love isn't only for the people that fall into this category.
Yeah.
Right. And I also comfort them by telling them that it only takes one.
Yeah.
We don't have to make everybody fall in love with us in order to be lovable or to be marriage material, that it only takes one. And then we focus on what is wanted, and we focus a lot on these values that you're talking about with compatibility. And they start to see opportunity in places they never thought to look. Right? And they learn how to create more opportunities and put themselves in places where they might connect with people. Where if we're thinking about, I don't fit this, like I am not this girl, I guess I'll just stay home. I guess I'm just not going to go. And then we perpetuate this as a self-fulfilling prophecy that I'm not attractive.
Yeah.
But really we're not putting ourselves in places where we even could intersect with somebody who might find us attractive. We're too hidden from them. So I shift them. We can acknowledge what is, and let's lick our wounds over that. But there's so much opportunity out there if we're willing to focus on what we do have, and things we haven't tried or things that we haven't done that we actually would enjoy. Would enjoy, being part of this or being part of that, and taking all the pressure off. It doesn't have to be about dating. It's just an ever expanding social dynamic where I'm constantly meeting new people. We're coming to you live here from the Edison House, and this is a pretty good social dynamic and helps me interact with people I would never meet with otherwise. Anyway, and there isn't a specific type that can be successful here or in any other dynamic too. So I don't know if that answers your question, but there's a million things, and that's why I had 18 clients get married last year.
Yeah, you did.
Great.
Yeah.
And I had like 5 babies from previous years' clients get
That's
born.
right.
And I'm pretty sure I have the highest job satisfaction rate anywhere.
That's
love
amazing.
this. And love is for everybody. It's not for any sort of elite.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question, and then we should probably wrap up. Are you going to match yourself?
No, it doesn't seem super ethical for me to get a bunch of applications from all
And
the
take,
men
like,
in Salt
first
Lake and be
choice.
like, where's the very best one? Please send me.
It's not about the best one. It's about
Right.
what's
Your
right for
match.
you. I don't
Yeah.
think you should count yourself out. If some of your matchmakers on the team see somebody that fits for you, I vote that you do qualify.
I do have a lot of people arguing with me on this. And some people understand where it's like, oh, that does look like an ethical conflict. My even bigger concern is, well, I have 2. One is, what if I handpick him and then he's like, ugh, this isn't what I wanted. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, I did this
Yeah.
to you. I'm so
I can't even blame this on anyone
I
else.
trapped you with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess if the other matchmakers picked, that
Yes.
might be the way around
Yes,
it.
we can solve that.
But also, I'm just going to be so busy running
Busy.
this experiment
That's
that
my
I don't
thought.
feel confident in my ability to show up as a great
be
partner.
available.
Yep.
And there will be busy seasons of life.
My guess
but
is you could probably call them after anyway if you want.
there you go.
That was my
You're
other
top
thought.
10. You're like, you're March, you're April,
Yeah.
you're you are May, Mr. June, Mr. July.
Yes,
And if
I
that
love
doesn't
it.
work out, you can call me and I
Yep.
will talk you through it. It'll be great. Yeah.
We'll talk through it over dinner. It's fine.
Well, Tiana, we want to thank you for coming in and for doing this
Yes.
for the community.
Yes,
and
thank you.
for taking the reins
Thank
on
you.
this. This is so invigorating and exciting, and we're just so glad that it worked out for you to come in here today.
Can I also clarify really fast? This is for Utah residents, correct?
Yeah, so this is Greater Salt Lake
Okay.
area, so Salt Lake County, Utah County,
Okay.
Davis County. It is very possible
Weber
this will
County.
expand
Yeah,
expand
Weber
in the
County.
future. Weber County,
Yes.
close by. We don't.
Yeah.
We're not trying to do long distance yet. I
Okay.
needed for at least this first round,
Yes.
and maybe only round. Who knows? But for at least the first round, I just needed it to be contained.
It makes sense.
And
It
then
totally makes sense.
I have had a lot of requests to do a long distance version where people say, I live in this place and I know all 6 people here.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah,
Just
there is a demand for that.
Because we have listeners everywhere, so I just wanted to make sure that
Right.
they understood. So,
Great clarification.
I do have an interest form that will be linked on the website. They can fill out if they're interested in a future 4-week fix, but not within the parameters this time. Whether
Okay.
that's location, age, they're not
LDS,
LDS,
yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
Well,
'cause-
would you be willing to come back and tell us how it goes?
Oh, I
after?
would love
Yes,
to.
good.
Unless
Yeah,
it's
I would love
super
that.
tanks, then maybe I
then
would
we'll
not.
No, it's
We'll
gonna
never
be
talk
so
about
good.
But we
We
are
do not talk
manifesting
about it.
success.
yes, it's going to be
Yes.
amazing.
We could talk about the learning if things don't go well, but I think it's going to go great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love that. Well,
Okay.
thank you so much for coming. Seriously,
Thank
so
you for having
excited.
me.
So excited to hear how this goes. Everybody, it's 4-week fix
Yeah.
at
.lovable.app or 4-week fix on Instagram, all spelled
It's
out.
very easy to find.
Yes. 4-week fix. Go to Instagram and then it'll have the link
Yeah.
on there. It does have to be done not soon, but like there's a discount if you do it before the 17th.
Yeah.
And then after that, everything has to be done by January 24th. This is 2026.
Correct.
So just be aware of that. So everybody, please go on there and sign up. I'm going to do a post about it. I just am so excited because it's so different. I love that it's so different. So thank you so much for being here, and let's do it again sometime.
Thank you.